if you have any interest in building habits, then you're bound to have come across the idea of a habit streak. In fact, most literature on habits now tends to focus on the streak as the primary strategy to building habits. And habit apps tend to focus on building a streak as the primary feature of the app. But as Anne Lore of Nest Labs mentions, that maintaining a streak has a dark side to it. And I've personally experienced this dark side, and I've observed others experiencing it as well. So, what is this dark side? The streak is meant to help encourage you to maintain a habit, but when you lose the streak, it becomes demoralizing to actually go back to the habit itself. And I've personally also found it that sometimes it's stressful to think about maintaining a perfect streak, which either means that I put off working on a habit or I become extremely agitated whenever I'm building a habit because I'm so worried about missing a day. So the way I like to think of it is while streaks can be useful, there's also another metric I like to think about, which is a stack. A stack is every time you perform the habit, you're actually contributing to that stack. So even if you've lost your streak, picking it back up means you're building on that stack as well. And to give you a very vivid example of this, I use an app or a website called Co-Writers. Actually, it's now called Writelier. Writelier, I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's basically to encourage you to maintain a writing, or for me, a publishing habit. So I've been publishing blog posts on a daily basis for a long time now, almost since January, but I've lost my streak a number of times. So the stack that I've built up, and I've been using the website for 2 years, around 2 years, and the stack that I've built up is over 400 blog posts. My current streak is, I think, 2 days because I missed my streak again. So it would be really stupid to focus just on the streak and not acknowledge the stack. Saying that I have a streak of 2 days doesn't sound that impressive, but saying that I have a stack of over 400 blog posts is impressive, and it's something that I should acknowledge and celebrate. So if you feel like you're committing too much to a streak or it's stressing you out, just think of it in terms of contributing to a stack. Even if you miss a day, even if you miss 2 days, no matter how many days you miss, you always want to go back and contribute to that stack. And uh, some habits or some activities that we do will start to pile up. So another example is that for around 4 or 5 years, I was writing a weekly newsletter, and after writing my first book, my first ebook, I got excited to create a compilation of all the weekly newsletters that I've written. My ebook was around 25,000 words, and when I compiled the weekly newsletter, it turned out that I had been writing for the 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I had written over 70,000 words, but I didn't realize that I've been building this stack on a weekly basis. And to be perfectly honest, I've missed some weeks, and that doesn't take away from the fact that I've built a stack in terms of my writing. And the same applies to any habit you can think of. If you want to exercise, maybe a single exercise won't change your life, but it can improve your day. So you've had a better day because of a single exercise. When it comes to meditation, when it comes to eating a healthy meal, you can think of it as you're making an improvement in that incident alone, and that's something worth celebrating. It adds to number that you're building in terms of a stack. I'm not saying we should dismiss building a streak entirely. As long as it helps you remain motivated, it's a good thing. But don't lose sight of a streak, of a stack, especially when you lose your streak. I've seen people maintain a streak of 300 plus days of writing, but when they lost their streak, they stopped writing. Why? Because they felt like the loss itself of a streak was too hard and too frustrating. Uh, Again, don't lose sight of what you're trying to build and the direction you want to take your life in, and don't allow a streak to demoralize you once you've lost it. You can lose a streak, but you'll never lose a stack. If you found this video useful, then I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel. I know I'm biased, but my goal is to provide you with videos that are simple to understand and easy and practical to apply. I'll be covering a range of topics that I believe are relevant to most human beings. So I'll be covering how to build a business, personal development, critical thinking, dealing with belief systems, and so many other topics that I personally find interesting and hopefully you'll find interesting as well. So subscribe to the channel and there's more to come.